All players have connected. Hello. Good evening.
Hey.
Hello.
We're back, part 2 of the Stand Up to Cancer. How are we all doing?
Good.
Really?
It's not been a good day for sport, has it? For the four of us, to be fair.
it
So,
hasn't.
I
No,
think
no.
every team of ours has been smashed. So yeah, that's put a bit of a dampener on it tonight, hasn't it?
At least Chelsea only lost 1-0.
What? Don't say anymore.
Okay.
It'll be about 18-0 or something stupid in a minute.
You got a long way to
yeah.
beat 5. So
And we need to perk Bazza up as well.
no, I'm all right. I'll be all right. I'll be good. I'm all good.
Do you need a hug, Bazza?
A virtual hug, yeah. Come on,
Yeah.
come in, lads, come in. I've got plenty to go round.
it's that way then. Oh, this is so complicated.
I always get when I do that when I want to refer to someone else. I'm always not sure what way to go. Never mind.
Mirror your camera. I've realised now. You click that option, mirror your camera.
I know, but then it writes all your words differently.
All your words back to front.
Yeah, it trips you out.
Does it? I ain't got any words though.
Yeah, it trip you out. It trip you out.
So yes, we're back to do more Stand Up to Cancer. It's the last day, I think, today. Let me give you an update on how the team have been.
How is it going?
Because the team have been extremely busy. So it's currently, I think, officially at $35,000, which is 5,000 over the goal.
Wow.
And a majority of that is definitely down to the Jang, who has been tirelessly campaigning. There are some other team members who've put in some huge shifts as well. But yeah, I think it's overinflated because I think there was an accidental donation that's going to get taken off. So somebody put the wrong. To be fair, it's one of those ones where you type it in and it goes in backwards. I've done it on I don't know if it's on a pay thing where you pay it on a banking app or something, and if you're not careful, if you don't put the right dots in, the zeros in, it's like more than it should be or less than it should be. So you have to like check it. So
easily done.
Yeah, easily done. But $35,000, wow.
That's a great effort. Yeah,
that's gonna be. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you know what I mean. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Go towards the research.
Yeah, it's going to help a lot of people out.
Yeah, because these guys I did have a quick look at what they do as well, but they do a lot for people who are already like suffering with it as well. They're not just looking at like trying to prevent it. They look at dealing with it after like treatment, and even people who are sort of terminal, they still put like towards keeping them like going, improving quality of life.
The care and all
like
that.
cancer research is really good, and another one that's well worth supporting. But this one's slightly bit different. They do. Have they done like goggle boxes and stuff before? I think they haven't.
Bake Off. They do every year. Stand Up to Cancer Bake Off.
The celebrity one.
Yeah. We lost Bazza, but now he's back again.
Yeah, I don't know what happened now.
Yeah, they did a celebrity one, which is quite funny sometimes because sometimes they're awful. So it's quite amusing. Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we'll get some people watching tonight with a bit of luck. Chuck some more purse out on people, get them in on a Saturday night. What else could you be doing? There's no good football matches to watch. I can tell you that for a fact.
Exactly. Why not join your time, spend your time listening to us, Wally?
Unless you're a Brighton fan.
No, there's no such thing as a Brighton fan. They're all fake. And let's get some more donations. The donation link should still be down below.
Fantastic.
Although it has significantly jumped to 72, which means we are 28 away from our target. So that'd be cool if we could get that last push. 28.
Yep. Every little helps.
What else do I need to say? 2 to 4 players. Yeah. This is us this is the main body of 2 to 4 players. This is us talking rubbish about all things hobbies, TV, films. What else do we talk about? Anything. Sport.
Anything and everything.
Whatever tickles our fancy.
Retro, pop culture, you name it. We'll talk about it. Or build it.
And tonight we're gonna wade in on the masses and masses of streams that have been talking about the first 2 episodes and then probably the 3rd episode of Ahsoka. We're going to start at the beginning. We're going to work through it because we feel a lot of people are very, very negative about another Star Wars show. That would we rather have no Star Wars shows? Is that the general feeling, or would we rather have like loads of it? I'd rather have loads of them than like none of them.
Oh, we're spoiled for choice now, aren't we? Compared to years ago.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for them.
I think people have an issue with comparing, don't they? It's the whole compare thing to what come previous.
The Go Compare, you mean?
Go compare! Oh no, I promise I'm not going to sing tonight.
I don't know. You might be getting donations if you do some singing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, go on then. If you get donations in, I'll give a little bit.
Can't I do like a pin message?
I'll do you 15 seconds of your song if I know it. That is. If not, then you're just going to get me humming to a tune that I don't know words to.
Simply Red again, please.
Hey,
I don't know who Blair
Simply
is.
Red.
Yeah.
Simply
I
Red.
think it was Red Wine was one put in, wasn't it? I was waiting for that was a
Red
Mrs.
wine.
Brickstage pass request. Yeah.
Of course, I remember that one.
We've got Zachariasin. Hello, did I say that right?
Zacharias.
Zacharias.
Yeah.
Um,
He's the one who used to live in where you used to have the villa when you were younger, Craig. Up in Barcelona.
what near Blan? No, yeah.
Yep.
We were in Blan as well.
That's where he lives.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Nice.
So, right, I don't know what the main structure of who's going to talk when I'm going to talk, but we're going to start with episode 1. We're going to talk about the beginning bit. We're going to talk about what we thought to the red words that came up, and I'm going to go straight to Bazza on this one.
Oh,
Sorry,
Oh, he's lost him.
lost you briefly. Sorry, just repeat that question.
I said we're going to talk about the red writing at the beginning. I was going to let you go on that one.
But you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't know about that red writing. I looked at it. It's very different, isn't it? It's you've got the scrolling screen again. Okay, it's not the same as Star Wars. We've seen different things in Mandalorian, how it starts. One thing I did notice, and I'm coming off it a little bit, is I noticed the robot heads have changed to suit the show that we're watching.
yeah.
Colours as
So
well.
yeah, that's right. The red. I don't know if the red signifies dark times ahead. I honestly don't know what the red stands for. So coming to me first is probably a good thing to get me out of the way. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But I did notice the robot heads and what they signify going forward with the people that are,
And they changed, didn't they?
Parties.
Three's changed on it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you've got Morak in there, ain't you? You've got who else have you got in there? You got Hugh Yang in there. Sabine's in there. Yeah. So there's different helmets in there now. So yeah, come on, guys, help me out. This red thing.
There's no point asking me because I skipped the intro.
Oh no!
What?
I just get straight into it.
I thought the red writing was.
You manually skip it because the skip bit didn't come up for that bit.
No, so I know the red writing bit, but
Yeah.
you know it has all different helmets and does the
All
Star
right.
Wars thing.
Okay.
I skipped that bit and I skipped the
love that
recap
bit.
as well. I skipped the recap and I skipped the intro because I already know what's happened. I don't need to remind
I
me.
did that for the last ones. Have they always been the same, the robot heads? Until now.
Change.
I didn't know they changed.
Yeah.
I
Especially
know
if a
they
new
changed-
character reveals.
As
If a
I
new
mean-
character gets revealed, and then it
No, but
goes
for like
into it.
Andor and
Yeah, so
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
the
they
original
changed.
series would have
Okay.
C-3PO and
Always do,
R2-D2
sorry.
and stuff, didn't it?
Yep.
So that's
Yeah,
nothing new. It just changes.
They changed, but the colours is new.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember any of the Mandalorian ones because I skipped
They
it. So.
did change the different seasons. They change over the Mandalorian. I've noticed the same
I'm a
with
bit
this
of a
one.
You got like Bo-Katan, didn't you, in there, and
That's right.
I think Grogu's head just.
the armorer and stuff. And
Didn't you get Grogu's head?
no, because he's not.
No, it's not a
Droider
helmet or.
Yeah, I know, but you could just have a silhouette.
Oh, so it's got to be like a robotic thing.
No, it's got to be a helmet or a robot. It's a bit like Lego's. take
Lego
on
Star
that.
Wars helmets, yeah.
Okay.
There's a mask or a helmet or
They had a stormtrooper and stuff on them.
yeah, they've had stormtroopers.
Yeah. The clone troopers and all that. Various different.
Oh, it's going to
So-
take a while.
It is. So this red writing, come on, this red writing. What
I like
we
the red
saying?
writing because I didn't want them to do the yellow writing in the middle.
I know
and I
it's the
thought it
same,
did
innit?
need-
It would have been the same.
And I think they did the red writing because not everyone has seen Rebels. Now I know loads of people have said go and watch Rebels or go and watch a recap so you know what you're doing. I don't think you need to watch it. Forget if you don't like cartoons, you don't need to know the history of Ahsoka and Rebels to watch it. They are explaining everything. I think people, the Star Wars fans, get a little bit too Like, oh, I don't know about this. It's like, well, then you're not a Star Wars fan, are you? Because you've either looked it up beforehand, or you're just going to sit and watch it and like take it all in. You're not going to start criticizing that they haven't explained it, because they did with the bit at the beginning.
Hands up for me. Yeah. I was going to say, I'm the same with, I think, Scotty maybe as well. We're not really up on the animation stuff as much.
No, I'm not.
So the storyline's a little bit vague to us. We did start watching it on Discord, actually. We watched the end of Clone Wars, was it? The last 3 seasons of Clone Wars?
And the first season of Rebels.
The first season Rebels. So we are far behind. I'll be honest, I'm not into modern day animation, especially this sort of thing. But I was getting into it because of the storyline more than anything. So, but as Craig said, I feel you don't need to having to watch all that. You can pick it up as you go. If you're a Star Wars fan, you pick bits up. Like me, I'm picking bits up. Okay, I didn't know what the red writing meant, but does anyone really know what the red writing means? And I'm sure we'll go into other stuff as we go along, where I'm like, I don't know what that means. But
again, where did Morgan and Ahsoka appear in there? And when did, like, people have been, I've heard people saying about things about Thrawn, they keep mentioning this Thrawn. He was mentioned in Mando season 2. Were you not watching Mando season 2?
Of course.
I don't understand the criticism. There was a whole episode where Ahsoka was introduced. She battled there. There's a blooming. Oh, we should have said spoilers, by the way, if you've not seen it yet. But yeah, I did put it in the title. But yeah, she's battles there. She talks about it. She gets her into custody. That's how she's in custody at the beginning of the thing on that ship.
That's right.
It's like, did you not watch The Mandalorian? Do you need, because like, does it really matter, or could you just assume that she was captured? I mean, they made the point of saying your prisoner has escaped to Ahsoka. That would, if you've not watched it, you would go, "Ooh, she must have captured her then."
Yeah, I mean, I've never watched Rebels, so I went into this kind of completely blind, and I kind of picked up pretty quickly what's going on.
I don't think it's a rocket science.
It's not particularly, is it? Even the kind of rift between Ahsoka and Sabine and stuff. You kind of got that straight away, and I don't know what more they could have. I don't know. I picked up it's pretty straightforward, really. The whole Ezra's gone missing, and that kind of crap. It was like it's quite easy to pick up, really.
Well, I give the example of, like, when you watch Game of Thrones, when you watch the first season, they were talking about this Mad King and the War of the Trident and all these battles and things like that. You had no idea what was going on, which family was which, but you still watched it, and then at the end, you were like, "Oh, okay, now I'm getting to know who they are."
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same, really.
You pick up tidbits, didn't you? You pick up the bits and you remember it, and you think, "Oh, that's when they said that, and that's when this happened there."
I just think people with people with a kids show and a cartoon, they're a little bit like, "I've got to watch a cartoon." No, you don't. Just watch the series from the beginning. I'm sure you'll get it right at the end. Don't worry. Relax.
Yeah. It's like being hypercritical of something, but like one thing they weren't critical in Book of Boba was the Wookiee. Was it Black Chrysanthemum? I can't remember how to say his name.
Black Chrysanthemum.
That's it. He's like only appeared in comics, but no one was going, "Where's this Wookiee turned up from?"
Yeah, where was he in the prequels?
Yeah.
Good point.
Did you like the red writing? Did you think it, or did you just like think it needed it, or what, Scott?
I liked it, but I mean, it's red writing at the end of the day. I was more waiting for the show to begin. So, yellow, red, pink, blue, I don't mind. As long as I can read it, it's all good to me.
I don't know if it has any meaning. Surely you can't do.
Isn't it to do with this? I don't know if it's to do with Rebels, but is it to do with like the old samurai films or something like that? Didn't they usually have red writing sometimes to...
That's a good shout. That's a good shout. Yeah, I know that the storylines and all that have, and the visuals and everything's to do with a lot of samurai movies, black and white samurai movies. So that could be
a lot of references to samurais in this series already.
That could be a good shout, Scotty, to be fair.
So yeah.
And then we go into the sort of opening scene, which is essentially very, very similar to many other Star Wars scenes, but particularly around, I thought, like, me personally, I thought it was the reversal of Phantom Menace, where the baddies are not expecting the Jedi to arrive, and this time the goodies are not expecting what is Dark Jedis or whatever they're going to be called, because they're not fully Sith, we know that, to suddenly appear. And it was almost like, let's flip that on its head and have it the other way around, because that guy was pretty cocky when he letting him in there. It's like, I would not have let him in.
Yeah.
When you got a high-profile prisoner like that, it's like, what was he thinking? He was so laid back and cocky about it, as you say. It's just like, what are you doing? What are you thinking?
There was even a part. even a parallel, weren't they, to the negotiations with Short when they're blasting the droids in Phantom Menace, and they're ripping the Republic. With the I love the Mon Calamari with his big hands. It's like, yeah, he's going to be quick on the draw, isn't he?
They kind of focused on a little bit like on him as well when they were just coming, like the whole "it's a trap" kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He didn't need to say it, but
you could have done, couldn't you? There was a bit of that in it as well.
Every time you see one of them people, it's like, oh shit, it's a trap. Even Mandalorian, you know, is it the second season when you first see Bo-Katan? They get off on that boat, don't you? Of course, they're on that planet where they are, you see. So it's like it's always, every time you see one of them, be careful. It's usually a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
What I don't get about those kind of scenes, especially when they're not Sith, but we'll call them that for the purposes. When they come in and they're all shooting them, why do they carry on shooting? So they obviously have seen a couple of them like not getting on very well. Someone just keeps on. I'd be like chucking my gun and go, sod this for a laugh.
Just leg it. It's the nearest aircraft.
Escape pod.
He's just deflected like 60 bullets. I'm out.
Yeah.
Very casually as well.
It's the same as any martial arts film, isn't it? Because like Bruce Lee stood there and they come at one at a time. It's like, if you all went together.
Yeah.
How menacing does he look?
You've got him.
Balin, how menacing, how big and...
Oh, he's a unit, isn't he? Big old chap.
The costume.
He just,
he's dressed.
Just casually walks in. Doom, doom, doom. That's it. Kills one.
That's a very Darth Vader-y Rogue One type hallway scene thing.
Yeah.
You know? They seem to be popular at the moment, don't they? Hallway scene type things. So
I think it was a bit of a nod, but they did play it down a little bit. It
wasn't too cinematic. Yeah, it was kind of a bit quick, as it were.
I think it was to show that he wasn't necessarily full like rage, anger, because to me he looked like somebody who was complete in control, which then again highlights the fact that I don't think he's full Sith, because the way he just went and force choked him was all controlled. I think the actor did a fantastic job. I am gutted that he's
and I never remember her name. And the girl one, she seems quite good. His Padawan, Jin, is it? Sorry, cheers. Shin.
Shin Hottie, we're all calling her.
Shin Hottie.
Yeah, she's I like her. She's kind of like she looks like she's conflicted a little bit though. I always see.
Yeah,
I think they both are. I think they're both.
Yeah, I think they're both kind of, because later on he's kind of all about the power, isn't he? But you can tell he's a little bit kind of conflicted about how he's going around it.
I think Balin's quite fair, because I think I think it's Shin Hati, because like she's kind of following him, and if anything happens to him, Balin, then she's going to be like, oh shit, what do I do now, kind of thing.
Well, we're going to get to episode 3, but if you notice when he talks about killing Ahsoka, he's not happy about killing another Jedi. So
he's kind of excited. Yeah, he's kind of a bit gutted. There's not many Jedis left, and he's a bit kind of like, it's a bit shame, wasn't it?
I think they both are, especially her, but him as well. So he's leading.
I mean, the other one ain't got Scooby Doo what he thinks, or she. I mean, it's got a mask on, so
yeah. On Morak, I definitely think it's a he.
Yeah, yeah. So he's kind of just doing what he wants to do.
I think that the whole concept of that, like I said, was like that. It to me seemed like a reversal of that, but it was just a good way to set up the whole series, because I'd seen her on that bridge thing, which turns out to be the ring thing, and I thought to myself, but she's meant to be in custody. So the fact that they dealt with that quite early on, like they didn't rush into showing Ahsoka or what they were doing, they just thought, right, we're going to give you this, and it was like kind of flipped on its head, that the Republic were very much suddenly turned into stormtroopers, where they can't hit anything for shit with a gun, but still keep firing regardless. Like pew, 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 pew. That scene from Lego Batman movie, if you've not seen it, makes me laugh, where they actually do the sound effects. Pew 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 pew. So yeah, I think that was good. And then obviously from that we move on to sort of catching up with Ahsoka and Sabine and all the rest of it that's going on, and they've obviously got the stuff on Lothar, I think it's called, isn't it? And I think they just worked that part in there to build up ready to start that story, that tension between them. That's all that really was. You know, she had her little moment, which, you know, that we've got her going for like Indiana Jones, which I was fine with. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? I mean, like I said, if you want to be critical of it, you can be really critical of it. She twists everything, and then she doesn't work out how to twist the ball. But never mind. But the fight scene with the HK droids was just like awesome, wasn't it?
But
Yeah, that was really cool, and I was quite surprised when they got quite a dangerous explosive in them. I mean,
Yeah, they are loaded.
Who did that?
I have a theory though about the whole Ahsoka not knowing how to do the ball. Maybe she did know, and she just went, "I'm going to try and get Sabine." It was all a big plan to try and get Sabine back. Maybe
like foreseeing what's coming in it, because he's doing a bit of foreseeing, isn't he, Balin? So
yeah,
she doing a bit of foreseeing, knowing that she's got to have her.
She needs
her side.
Yeah, she needs help.
She might not like puzzles. You never know.
Well, she did a good job of the one in the middle, but I particularly like the fact that it was when she dropped down and cut the thingies to separate them out into the room, and there's again the droids trying to fire down the hole. And
whoever programs these robots are not very good, but.
That scene had a bit of everything. Yeah, the scene had a bit of like Fifth Element-y, Bladey, sort of Indiana Jones. It had a bit of everything, didn't it? That's that whole sort of scene in 2. You know, it was good. It was good opening. It was really good cinematics as well. If you look at the way like Ahsoka come up and you see just her eyes when she's looking at the what's it called? What is it? A ball map thing? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, the ball thing.
Pathfinder.
A ball map thing.
A giant snitch.
Just the cinematography, I think, is fantastic.
Yeah, I like the way the transitions are very old school Star Wars, aren't they?
Yeah, wipe on, wipe off.
Yeah, I like
that.
I
love that.
Keep it.
That's it's a good old nod. I mean, I've done it in a few of them now, but I love it because it's proper old school, isn't it? The old swipe on, swipe off is good. It's good. Yeah.
And then they've had like we've had cranky droids, we've had like gobby droids, we've had pathetic droids, we've had other things, but you get David Tennant, and I think
he's awesome.
He's a tremendous actor, and straight away, you knew exactly what. I mean, even if you've not watched him do the voice, because he's obviously does it in the Clone Wars cartoon, instantly you know that that character straight away, what role that character's going to play. You don't need to know that he knows every single lightsaber and he's helped build them all with the Jedi younglings at all. The only question I think for like me as a Star Wars person is how come of all he's ended up with Ahsoka? You know, I'd love to know how they met and how that story's.
I'm sure they're going to explain that later on. I don't think they're going to leave it.
They've got to, haven't they? They've got to explain it at some point.
He does explain everything, don't they? Filoni and everybody. They all explain something at the point. So
yeah, I reckon even that's going to be next, probably. Bit of
or it's done in some of the versions, some of the things.
Well, you think about Ahsoka, she's a point of focus now because she's met up with Luke at that point. She's hung around with Grogu twice. So she's a point of focus now in the unit. I mean, she's met up with Hugh. I was just sorry, the sirens. So she's a point of focus now. So it's nice to know how some of these people, like how these people and robots and all that have got together. But yeah, I was kind of wondering, how did they meet up at some point? Did I miss something from Rebels, or I don't? Clearly not, because you guys are mystified as well.
I don't think so. No, I think it's just he's a good character that Dave Filoni's created that he wants to use again. And again, you've already got like a decent actor because he's good at casting actors. Like is it the Ben Yu, the thingy, which was Tom Baker? His voice was like booming.
Yeah, that's right, Tom Baker. Yeah.
And David Tennant again, he was instantly recognizable.
David Tennant's very good at playing someone who's quite. A bit of a know-it-all, knowledgeable, kind of sarcastic.
Yeah.
He's really good at portraying
sarcastic
that.
Nerds.
So when he was in the Marvel series as the villain, he was really good because he was kind of real cocky.
Killjoy,
yeah. When he was Mr. Purple, was it, or whatever he's called, where he just tells people to do stuff and they do it. So he was probably one of the best villains in Marvel, to be fair.
Yeah,
but it's because he's sarcastic and he's cocky and and he's always good at playing that kind of
He did that serial killer as well. Did you see that? What was it? That serial killer.
Yeah.
The guy who did,
yeah.
It was brilliant as that. He was just like
the Russian guy who was poisoned, didn't he?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Broadchurch, he was fantastic in. So
Yeah.
he's a good actor, isn't he?
Yeah, Broadchurch.
I love that robot. He's funny. He's very funny.
Yeah, Hu Yang's been the best thing so far for me.
Yeah.
He's not quite as feisty as K2SO, but he's not far behind him.
Oh, K2SO. Yeah, I liked K2SO.
Another good voice actor, wasn't it? Alan Thingy that did him. That makes it all clever stuff. And then
they like their cocky droids, though, don't they? Star Wars, their little spunky droids. Sounds
Even I think what's the name in the Solo film was not too bad as well. The female one.
Oh yeah, the Phoebe Waller-Bridge played.
Yeah,
she was all right. Being part of the Falcon, isn't she? In the end, they sort of chuck her in there.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, London must be London.
I did try to make that one, but
are we having a drink every time a siren goes off? Okay.
Yeah, we usually do. It's usually meant to be alcohol, but I'm not in that mood.
I've run out.
Oh Jesus, again.
So the obviously the explosion happens, and she gets onto the ship, and there's a bit of chemistry between them.
Hello, everyone in chat. Sorry.
And yeah, hey Trevor, hey Tim, and all of a sudden they're like, people have been critical as well that I've seen about Ahsoka maybe not being the same as the Ashley Eckhart character, and like less of a is it Squibs? I can't remember the name. It's gone right out of my head, but she's now. But she was calm and composed in Mandalorian season 2. So she's the same actress, the same direction in this. So she's now calm, more reserved, a little bit more thoughtful. And then people go, oh, well, they're doing a lot of staring into space and pondering. It's like, well, they're just acting. It's like, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. The script says portray this, and they do it. And then we're now criticizing. So, which leads me on to my biggest thing where people have said about Hera. Now, I think Hera is absolutely spot on, right? I had no preconceptions from watching Rebels twice of what she's going to be like. I know she's supposed to be a bit of a mother figure, but if Dave Filoni, who creates the character, writes the script, casts the character, casts the actress, and then physically directs her, then that's the right Hera, because it's his character.
Yeah, exactly.
So he wants being critical. It's like he created Hera. If anyone's going to know what Hera's supposed to be like, it's him. Everyone else just go bye.
I don't understand what they're expecting. What are they expecting to be different? Like, why is it not right for people? I don't understand. And not just Hera, most other things as well. I just don't get it.
I don't have a reference point, so I don't know what she's meant to be like from the cartoon.
I've watched her a little bit. You are right. She's very mumsy, isn't she? She's quite mumsy. And I think that will come. And I think you'll see more of that.
She is a mum, isn't she? So
yeah, we saw it in episode 3, didn't we? We saw more of what people wanted, but she's not really got anybody to mother at this point. She's acting in a go-between between, Sabine was part of her crew, and I don't think you need to, again, have known that to know that there's a connection between Hera and Sabine.
Well, she's already given her a few little words of, hasn't she, in the hospital? So,
and she's a general, and she's got her strepsils on her front.
Strepsils.
Since you told me that, now I just can't stop looking at it.
I don't know what the blue ones are though. What they blue raspberry? I don't think they make blue raspberry strepsils. But I'm in for it.
No, as soon as you see black ones, they're extra strength. They had them in thingy, to be honest. They had them in Mando, the last season of Mando, when they were in the office with the guy. They had them then. And they still look like strepsils.
They did, didn't they?
I don't know if they did it on purpose, because like if you go back to like New Hope and obviously Empire and Jedi, all shot in England, all shot in
Pinewood,
Elstree, and all use like bits to get around stuff. Like if you watch any of the makings of how they built the trench run and how they built the ships and everything. So I don't know if it's kind of a little bit of a nod to that, and it is actually meant to, because it really does look like a packet of strepsils. And I think strepsils are quite worldwide, aren't they?
I'm convinced. I'm going to have to look to see if it is strepsils or not.
Cough sweets.
I'm convinced it's got to be cough sweets or some description.
Yeah,
I just love one that would just be going 1 second and just pop it and just eat one.
Demoted.
yeah, you're demoted.
Lemon.
Yeah.
But, it's I think with Ahsoka though, I think she's an older version of Ahsoka as well, isn't she? She's not that kid that you see in the cartoons, because you see her grow up through the cartoons, in the animation. Yeah. Sorry, but now she's what, in her 40s, maybe early 50s, late 40s,
something like that. I guess I don't know.
So she's going to be a lot more wiser and a lot more calm and think things through more.
And she's been through a lot. So
she's been through a hell of a lot.
Make an assumption she's been through. You don't need to know what she's been through. You can just make an assumption that she's given the fact that obviously it's the same with Balin as well, isn't it? It's like at the end of the Order 66, they've all gone and done different things.
Mm-hmm.
So they've all been hunted. They've all had to hide. They've all had to do stuff. So
exactly. We don't have no backstory about Balin, but no one's complained about him. Everybody loves him.
No. Yeah. Everyone just goes accepts him because he wanted anything before.
Exactly. They're comparing. It's all about comparing, as I said earlier on. People are comparing in their own mind about certain things. Just let it play out and enjoy it for what it is.
He's probably the little youngling that went, Master Skywalker, and he managed to let him go, kill all the others and let him go.
No, I hope not. I hope not. I hope that kid's dead.
Bloody hell, Scotty.
Yeah, well, are you saying that
not in real life?
No, obviously.
He's got his head took off.
Accident on set. Oh shit!
Well, hang on, wasn't he in? Actually, wasn't he in one of the Kenobi things in the Amber? I'm sure he was. I could be wrong.
What, the little kid?
I know there's something on the internet about him recently.
I'm sure he's stuck in one of the Amber. Do you know when Kenobi goes into
I know, because the
basement on the Inquisitors thing? I'm sure he's in there. I could be wrong.
Sounds like Jurassic Park with the Amber.
Yeah,
make a dinosaur from him.
DNA.
Yeah,
I think that's probably what they got the idea from. Keep them in amber, and they can extract DNA from them for
Spielberg and that. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, good mates.
Yep. So, where are we now then? So we've done Ahsoka. Sabine's moody, and obviously she has a bit of a chip on her shoulder, but she was like that in Rebels. So
she's
don't really see much.
She's quite a good driver of a speeder.
Yeah, I mean it was a bit like the beginning of the reboot of Star Trek, wasn't it? With him, doing the little running thing, and there's the Kelvin universe. Yeah, there was a little bit of that in it, but those fighters look pretty cool because they're new, aren't they? Which wings are they? Which letter are they alphabet?
Like E-wings, aren't they?
Yeah,
they were pretty cool.
E-wing, yeah, they were cool.
They look like a.
You could just see the IKEA robot behind the guy.
Yeah, we was wondering if we was going to see the IKEA yellow.
You could see him. I spotted him just behind him. There was like a yellow and blue thing behind him. So
they're kind of like a fighter plane, aren't they? They're quite cool, different. Yeah. Make a cool noise.
I just like the fact that she lands on the road thinking that's going to stop her, and when she could just easily just slide underneath, and then
a little bit. What's Trev saying? Something about too many theories. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're kind of like debunking like theories because we've been down this road before with Mando, and we all were wrong.
The armorer.
Yeah, we're like we're not doing theories. We're just going to talk about it and go. Like for example, Marek could just be Marek. He doesn't need to be the Star Killer or Ezra. Because I mean, let's face it. How are they going to explain Ezra? He went off with Thrawn. He's wherever Thrawn is. When they go and get Thrawn, Ezra's there. He can't have come back already. So if he'd have come back already, Thrawn would have come back.
If he is Ezra, then it's like then I'd be complaining about it a little bit. Yeah,
that wouldn't make any sense.
Unless he was from a parallel universe and it's a dark Ezra. I don't know what they'd come out with.
This is the other thing. Everyone's going on about the different universes all of a sudden. It's opened up all these different things. It says a galaxy far, far away. There are hundreds of galaxies that have always been there. They're not trying to like suddenly. Oh, we're not going to do a Master of the Universe and have them suddenly appear on Earth playing keyboards with a little war guy because they couldn't do the wizard. And Dolph Lundgren going, "I'm going to kill you with my sword."
Well, that film's a classic.
It is a classic.
It's so rubbish, but it's so good. It's so rubbish, it's so good.
I mean, I'd like it though if Bill and Ted just turned up. That'd be quite cool.
Why don't we just get that DeLorean come behind them? And
I mean, to be fair, everyone would criticize Disney to high heaven if it turns out we're going to have alternate beings now, multiverses in the Star Wars.
Please don't do
universe.
that. It's just lazy writing. It's lazy.
Tasteful.
Yeah.
You've got
It's
Mr. Strange's here, and he's the
Disney's
same
fault.
Benedict Cumberbatch in every multiverse.
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't make any sense. Multiverse. It's like, okay, all right, fair enough. It's lazy writing. Don't do it.
It was a bit lazy writing when they did about the Emperor when he came back in that last film with the whole cloning thing.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff,
that was.
you know.
Lazy writing,
So
was it?
please don't do it.
I think it's just probably a leftover Inquisitor that's just chilling with them. And
Yeah,
What do you-
last of an Inquisitor, isn't he? He's got a
He
bit.
said there's going to be some form of like little packs of bounty hunters, isn't there? Which is everybody loves bounty hunters, and that sounds to me like what they're doing, where they're just whatchamacallit, mercs. What's the full word?
mercenaries.
Mercenaries. Thank you. And they're just doing their own thing, and there must be like a little dark web mercenaries club, and they've all got together, formed a little ring. Well, a
Yeah,
big
that's
ring.
right.
Yeah, big ring.
Yeah.
One you
I
can
think
get
he'll
away
die
with.
anyway, myself. But there we go.
You just what?
I think he'll get killed. I think Ahsoka or whatever kill him.
Oh yeah.
Well,
It's
she's
fine.
already.
And then his mask will fall off, and it'll be Darth Maul, and everyone will be like, "What?"
Again.
I heard another theory. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I heard a theory that if Ahsoka was trained by Anakin, then Darth Vader trained Morak. That's another one I've heard. I don't know if you guys have heard that as well.
Well,
Well,
If-
no, because he's
well,
an
it's-
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, he will have had.
I know, but he
impact.
looked upon him favourably. Hence, the
but
reason he's
maybe
still
they're trying to
alive.
say about the game because
He
Star
hated
Killer
him.
was trained by Darth Vader.
Yeah, I'm going to
That's
say,
right.
but how many Inquisitors? I mean, all of a sudden, which brother is he then? Because there seems to be like hundreds of Inquisitors, but he looked unfavourably. Well, surely he would have been the Grand Inquisitor then if he was.
Yeah, he hated
Yeah.
Inquisitors, didn't he, Vader?
Yes.
They were just tools, weren't they?
Yeah, he just used
And-
them
and you-
because he
I
could.
kind of got the impression Palpatine said, "That's what you're going to do," and he went, "Oh, okay."
Who knows? I mean,
Who knows?
it could be anyone. It
So we
could
also-
be,
I'm sure we'll find out at the end of the
be
series.
Qui-Gon in there. It could be.
Oh yeah, it'd be good if it was Qui-Gon.
It could be a
Qui-Gon
pod
is never
racer.
been dead
I
at all.
don't know. Could be anything.
Does he get that ponytail and hair?
I hope it's a Jedi Tusken Raider. I'd fucking love that. That'd be
Oh,
so
no.
cool.
It's the female Tuscan. Yeah, it's the female Tuscan.
Can you imagine that?
It was like
Can you
That's
imagine-
not to her.
Can you imagine if it's Grogu?
Oh, Craig, you've got the line there. How can it be Grogu? He's not even the
Yeah,
same
like-
size. I mean, jeez.
He's stood up.
He's on
He's like
stilts.
the one in Men in Black.
No, he's in
Yeah,
that.
but-
He's in that
Vader
robot.
He's in the robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in his mech. He's in the
Yes.
mech. Yeah,
No.
imagine that if it opened up and he pops his head out. That would be hilarious.
They take the mask off and it's the one in Men in Black. You know that little alien with the controls.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, man.
I like somebody's joke. They didn't take the mask off, and I think it might have been One Brick Stud said it with Kathleen Kennedy. That would be quite funny. To be fair, I'll give him that one. Hello.
What's
So
that?
yeah, we had Clancy Brown, who was the voice actor for that character. Can't remember his name. He's like the leader on Lothar now. He was playing it, which I thought was another good touch that they're bringing back many of the voice cast that are actual actors, because a lot of voice cast actors aren't necessarily actors, like physical actors on screen. So, and obviously the reason why the Starkiller stuff's come is because Sam, what's his face, does a lot of voice acting for
Witwer.
loads of different things, and he's in the credits because he would like. If you watch Emergency Awesome, and if you don't watch Emergency Awesome, go and watch Emergency Awesome because it's brilliant on YouTube. But Charlie was like the same. He does so many different voices. Any of the little voices for different things he would have done anyway. So
Yeah.
And then we essentially have the setup for the end of where Rebels left off, which really makes no difference to anybody. I suppose some people who haven't seen it might be thinking, what is the picture all about and all the people on it? Because they don't really explain everybody, do they? But it does show Hera and Sabine, so there's some connection there. And obviously then they do the Ezra thing, so now you know that Sabine and Ezra were close, and obviously she's upset. And then we get to the whole what we've already said about your theory about the she already knew how to do the map. And there was a lot of people going, why did she let her take it off the ship? And it was obviously that something was going to happen. But again, she could have foreseen that as well. She could have foreseen that they were going to put a tracker on the ship and it would take them there, because with the the map would have led them there as well, but it might have led them into more of a trap where they wouldn't have been expecting things. Because if they'd have just done the map and then gone, there could have been stuff already there. We don't know how long.
It could be all her plan, since the beginning. This was her plan. She knew everything was going to happen. It's going to be like a Guy Ritchie film at the end. It all comes to plan.
Comes together.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
Other than that, the really big thing was the fight, isn't it, with Sabine and what happened to her, and
a lot of controversy that caused as well.
Yeah,
blimey.
We've had another gut slightly to the side, missed major organs attack that has essentially my theory is quite simple, right? Ahsoka's pretty much on her way there. If you've played any of the Star Wars games or read any of the Star Wars books, you know that a lot of Jedis can heal using the Force. I would think Ahsoka, given the amount of battles she's been in, because she was heavily involved in the Clone War alongside Anakin, she would have had some ability to heal. Hence, I mean, no one's complaining about Anakin with hardly any limbs, burnt to a crisp, crawling out of things, still managed to survive. Yeah, they got a robot to him and used a bit of Force to keep him alive. I mean, that is the ultimate thing that Palpatine's on about, is using the Force to heal him rather than bring somebody back from the dead, is sort of bring somebody who's on the brink of death.
Yeah.
So she gets there and she could have, let's dispense all the crap. She could have healed her. She was literally arriving as she was going. If they'd have chopped a hand off, it would have been, everyone would have just equally complained. If they'd have chopped a leg off, I mean, again, it would have been a bit, it would have been a bit silly, wouldn't it?
My question is, Darth Maul, so he gets chopped in half.
Yep.
And falls down like a little toilet hole thing. I don't know where it goes.
What little?
It goes to where does that go? So where did that thing go? Into space? So then he goes into space, which is a vacuum.
No, he doesn't go into space. He's in the planet.
Yeah.
So
on the planet Naboo.
Okay, so someone's
imagine a sewer system.
Got to find him. They never explained this, so they just.
Well, they're doing Rebels.
He comes back with metal legs, doesn't he? And they were like, "Oh, he's back."
Spider, wasn't it? Spider droid or something.
Yeah.
That's
so fundamentally, the witches.
The witches.
Dagomar, which is part of the storyline. Again, Dave Filoni's leaning on stuff. They sort of, Darth Maul was pretty much like a better sort of Sith than Palpatine. So the witches were manipulating it. They'd create another one later, and I can't remember his name now. Big aggressive dude, Sabak race again, but I think he's yellow. And obviously they get to him, and because he's so strong with the rage and stuff, the rage keeps him alive. The rage is the power of the Force. He's using it so obviously he can survive for a long time without no ass or no cock. I mean, it's not impractical.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that. Okay.
I mean, you've answered it then. So she could survive getting jabbed in the gut. I mean, Qui-Gon died. Was it Qui-Gon?
Yeah, so Qui-Gon dies at that moment, and if you think about it, the only person he's got there to help him is
he just died,
Padawan, who probably doesn't know how to heal, because they've sort of established that Obi-Wan is not particularly that strong in the Force, just very well trained. So
he's better with the lightsaber, isn't he?
I also heard today the reasoning behind why they you didn't see blood and all that sort of stuff, but it's because at that time when Phantom Menace came out in '99, there was laws around showing that kind of stuff. So hence
keeping the rating down, weren't they?
Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah, that's the reason why. But then there's also that thing about if you see him when he opens the door at the start of Phantom Menace and he puts the lightsaber in the door and it starts to melt up because the intensity from the kyber crystals in his saber. Now, my original thought was when she got stabbed, as she went in, and it didn't touch maybe one of the major organs, is that it cauterized the wound. I don't know, and then pulled it out and it cauterized the wound. I could be wrong by that. That was my first initial thought. But I'm hearing so many different conflicting reasons as to why she didn't die from that or bleed out from that.
So the energy.
Also, she's a Mandalore. She's quite hard.
Yes, she's going to be tougher. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, she's a Mandalorian as well.
Are you eating something, Cabbage?
Yeah, sorry, I mean cheesecake. You don't want to see this on stream.
I do.
Yeah, I don't, so I want it.
I want to see it.
The energy in the lightsaber, the Jedi can control the amount of energy that flies through the crystal, so they build their own lightsabers. I mean, that's another reason for Hu Yong to be in there. Really, is some sort of technical knowledge around it. So obviously, if you manage to turn to Sith and turn your kyber crystal essentially like into a red blade because you go full on thing, it's not like you just put a red crystal in. So that's not how it works. But his dual lightsaber would have been quite vicious. I mean, Kylo Ren's is a really vicious saber. It's crackling.
Yeah.
Is that because it's unstable?
Yeah.
Crystals
So Kylo Ren to Han Solo, it probably did kill him because he held it in there a long, long time. And I think when Qui-Gon opens the door and because he's cutting it and he takes it out, I think when he puts it in, he alters the setting as well. So suddenly it's putting out more energy to burn through the door. I don't think it's just because he could have just left it where it was, but he pulls it out and sort of does something and then pushes it in the middle.
That's right. Yeah.
Didn't he make it shorter so that it's powerful?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he shortens the length of it and then it heats up. So same with her. She's a Padawan. She's not going to have full control of a lightsaber. She's in and out quite quickly, like you said, Bazzo. It's not like she sticks it in there and goes.
And also, that's metal. When you're putting it in metal, it's maybe turning to molten a little bit, whereas in human flesh, I mean, it wasn't in there that long, as you say, in and out. It's cauterized it slightly.
If you want to go real serious about it, people have been shot in real life in the head and survived. Some people have been shot in the head.
Some people have been stabbed in the gut, and some people have
died.
been.
And some have been stabbed in the
some
gut.
people have lived because some people have been stabbed.
It's,
5 times in the gut.
It's pot luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
50 cents.
I mean,
I 9 times, wasn't it?
I have been to accidents where there are people walking around where they've literally got holes in their face and stomach, and they're talking and trying to get help. And you're thinking, how are you moving around? And I'll tell you why. It was drugs. But so we don't know. Sabine could well have been doped up for all we know. She might
she's a
spice
method.
She did look a bit like
she's a spice zombie.
She's a method.
Spice zombie.
Yeah.
Spice zombie.
Hey, there is spice though. There is spice though in Star Wars world, so maybe.
Yeah.
I think it would have been worse if she won the fight though. So what do you want? Did you want Ahsoka to save her, or
I would like to see her being maimed in a different way. I don't know why. Maybe
just keep it nice and calm. Yeah.
No, just like slashed in the leg or something, and then that can heal up.
Just casually slashed in the leg.
Enough to stop her from coming at her again, and so she can just walk away. Because she didn't want to kill her. She wanted to kill her. She would have took her head off, man.
She could have got stabbed in the ass, shouldn't they? Like a Forrest Gump in the buttocks.
Yeah, or Monty Python, where they keep chopping bits off. And
I think
the flesh wound.
I think they wanted you to think she might die.
It's just a scratch.
There's nothing wrong with Dave Filoni thinking, I want you to think that she might die, and you're going to go, will she? Loads of people recently have been stabbed in the gut and survived. Will you work, D? It's all right, though. I'm dropping episode 2 straight after, so don't worry about it. But it's like it's very samurai-ish. It's very samurai-ish. You go in there, but samurais, they turn the blade and then they go like that. They don't.
That's right.
She didn't do that. She was just like, she poked her.
It
was merely a flesh wound. She was laying on the floor going, come back, finish me off.
Yes, sir. All right, yeah.
So yeah,
and also, I don't know if you know this, guys, but lightsabers don't exist in the real world. Like Star Wars isn't real.
No, you are joking me.
So
this is true because I have
I'm going offline.
I have a lightsaber and I did try and stab myself in the gut and nothing happened.
If they're not real, explain this then.
You've got it's Kylo Ren as well.
No, you should do what Kylo does. He goes mental and starts smashing the room up.
Yeah, just explain that.
Just get
get
your wife in
behind you.
Get your wife in and see if she'll.
I've been jabbed in the stomach loads of times with this and I survived. So
yeah, in the stomach, of course. Sure, stomach.
Oh, I love it.
Anyway, there we go.
Yes.
So that was essentially episode 1. So what did you think to episode 1 in general?
Oh, should we give it out of 10 or something? Should we rate it quickly?
Can I just give it 2 thumbs up?
You want, or you can give it a score like the rest of us.
I'm going to give it an 8.
I'm going to give it a 7.5. Good start.
The Elbazzer. 7.5.
Yeah, I think I would have given it a 9 for the nostalgia and the setup. I don't think there was certain bits that I could criticize.
The beginning was great.
7.5 to me is good though. 7.5. 6 is still good. Maybe my rating's different to yours, but if it's really pony, then it's not even a 1, mate. Trust me. That's a good 7.5. Good solid start for me.
I'll give it 8.5.
My only criticism would be I didn't particularly like the lightsaber fight. I didn't really like that because I don't really know much about this Sabine woman, but she seemed like she could pick it up pretty quickly. And
She's a
then
Mandalorian, though, isn't she?
then
She
was
has had the
known.
dark saber, and I
She-
don't think you didn't know that, did you? So
Okay, no,
Yeah.
it was
She
kind of
handed
it was
over,
it was a
didn't
bit conflicted because they were saying that she like doesn't know how to use the Force, but then she was kind of doing it, and it was like I don't. Is she actually was she Force sensitive or is she actually full blown Jedi Force?
Well, that's
No,
part
she's-
2. That's what we're going to get onto, isn't it?
Okay.
Part
Yeah,
2.
she's got a
so-
little bit of sensitivity, but she was. I think did have a couple of like dueling spars with Ezra as well when she had the dark saber. When she finally
Yeah,
got hold of the dark.
You don't have to
saber.
be full sensitive to wield a saber of some description. Because look at Bo-Katan with the dark saber,
Yeah.
and she was wielding it around. So
It's a dark saber. I suppose it is a lightsaber, isn't it? It's just dark.
Yeah, it was a lightsaber.
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
I didn't
was.
really
Good sense,
kind
there,
of
Craig.
I didn't really kind of get into that lightsaber fight. I found it a little bit. I didn't think she would do as well as what she probably did do against that girl. And if that girl's a properly trained or she's I don't know. That was my only.
punching droids, wasn't she? I mean, come on, why was she punching droids? She could have put her armor on and it would have been cool, but she was. I mean,
was a
what
bit
was the point
weird.
of punching droids?
Well, that's
was
another
to
thing.
give you-
Sorry, mate, go on.
I was going to say it's to give you some of that effort and context in the fact that she was really like wanting to get it back because she realised she'd never taken it out of there. But I mean, it was kind of pointless, wasn't it? Like you say, she wasn't. And also, they're giving you context by showing you what she's like now, and then after Ahsoka gets hold of her, is she going to win next time those two meet? Is it going to be a better battle?
Well, you assume she's going to fight her again and probably win or come
Well,
on
my
top,
point-
you know. But
My point is when she had that thing stolen from her, and she went back to go and get the saber, why did she go for the saber and not her own
Mando,
helmet,
yeah,
Mando equipment? She's got blasters on the
It's easy to get in it. You've got to put your bloody helmet on, your armor on, blaster. Just get there, grab the saber, go.
Well, she must have felt some sort of confident that she could wield that enough to get that thing back.
whose
She must
saber is
have
it?
some
Is
level
it hers?
of
Or?
confidence.
Ezra's.
It was
Ezra's.
Ezra's, but it's now
Gave it
hers,
to her.
isn't it?
They did say that in the show as well. They did say you've got Ezra's
Okay.
lightsaber.
Okay, sorry, I missed that part.
You go skipping too much.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, back to the second episode.
So yeah, episode 2. So we're all a bit like. So what score did you give it in the end, Cabbage?
I still gave it an 8. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than Andor, and maybe similar to Mando. It was kind of close to it, but the series. I mean, the films are different to me. This is just the series, you know. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was nice.
And what did you give it, Scott?
8.5.
Okay, so I give it the highest then.
Yeah.
Right, Baz was the lowest.
Yep.
So,
That's the lowest.
Episode
Oh, I'm
2.
a hater now.
Yeah. Episode 2 pretty much picks up on where we left off, doesn't it, really? With obviously she's not dead. She starts a controversy. And Ahsoka goes looking, doesn't she, for the droid that's still. I couldn't understand why the droid was still there. That was a little bit I was a bit confused about. Why was it? Why was the HQ
Yeah, it
droid
was
still
hid, wasn't it? It was hid up.
Yeah.
Like it knew that someone
Because
might come back.
she hadn't actually killed it, has she? She had shot it and like injured it. I think it just stayed there.
Took his leg. Didn't it have
Maybe
a foot
it was
missing or
like going
something?
through its system, recovery system of repairing itself, you know? I don't know
think
why
the
I'm
cat-
doing this, but
I
it
think
kind
the
of
cat
helps.
held it in. The cat was like, "You're not going anywhere, mate. You're staying right there."
Maybe it was scared of the cat. That's why I was up in the roof. And he was like, shit. And then the Ahsoka came and he was like, oh, okay, I've got this.
That is a
I
weird
got it.
looking
And then
cat.
the boom.
Yeah, I'll take on the dual wielding Jedi Knight. Yeah, that's well done. Yeah, cat. No, don't like cats. I'm allergic to cats.
That is a weird looking cat.
Yeah, it's a strange cat thing.
Cute
It's
enough.
cute, but it's weird. Yeah,
They're just the Rebels design cats. Aren't they? The Lurther
Star
cats.
Wars.
That's what they look like.
yeah. It's one in the mural, isn't there? On
Yeah.
the shoulder.
Yeah,
There was that bit. Obviously, that led to them having the scene. I mean, there was a lot of good scenes, weren't there, in when she's healing between them. About I thought the scene with Hu Young and Sabine was good,
good
where
quotes.
he's basically going, "You crap."
Yeah, he tells her the
Yeah.
truth, doesn't he? He's not going to hold
Yeah.
back. So he's thinking.
He's like who would I like C-3PO to be like?
Yeah, he's got more balls, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just says how it is.
And clearly can fight with a lightsaber as well, because we find that out later on.
That was cool. That was my favorite bit of that.
The General
Yeah.
Grievous bit, in episode 3.
His little backpack. They're very much Chopper-esque in there. So obviously then they do the bit with the droid and they find out that ultimately it's on these droids coming from Corellia, which is like, what a surprise. It's the if anyone's played the Old Republic, everything happens on Corellia. It's like you're always going there.
Yep. Beginning Coruscant, isn't it? That's when you play the games.
No, it's Corellia where you go, the shipyards in the last
I know, but in the games you always go to Corellia, you don't go to Coruscant as much.
Oh yeah. So so what do we think to that bit then?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the bit are we talking about when they get there or before they get there?
No, the bit where he's back. The bit with
Where did I go? I went, did I?
He just dropped out and then came back.
Just
in
disappeared, yeah.
There was the whole sort of like speeches and stuff. I just thought it was well crafted. It was good storytelling. It's leading to another thing, but they wanted to get Hera more involved as well, so it allowed Hera to come into it while she. So that was another thing. By Sabine being injured, it allowed Hera and Ahsoka to go off, and do something to establish their relationship rather than just otherwise. If she'd have grabbed the map off, she chased after it, and then Ahsoka had come, and the others had run away, and Sabine was just stood there, then Sabine and Hera would have gone, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
essentially to redeem herself, whatever, but she can't because she sat in the hospital. And then obviously then the whole point of this episode 2 really is what's happening on Corellia, which is like, I thought it was pretty cool, to be honest. I thought the staging was good. I thought the special effects were good. I thought the storyline was good. I like the way that it's very much like the guy who's in charge. It's just about money. They're not worried about who's good and who's bad and which politicians are in, which is pretty much like real life. Just bothered who's going to pay him.
Yeah, allegiance is out the window when there's money.
It's a bit like Game of Thrones, isn't it? Like all the normal people, normal citizens, they don't give a shit whoever family's in power or anything. They just want to get food on the table, get food, and that's it. So
they were doing a pretty bad job of hiding that they weren't good because they're all well shifty, weren't they? Like everyone working on the computers and stuff were like shifty as anything.
Look at that.
Like, this is a rubbish job.
They were like, God,
just in red,
yeah. She's got the strepsils on.
Yeah, and then one of them breaks covered, and he can't control himself. He gets all a bit excited
for the Empire. It's like, what?
Yeah,
he didn't last long though, did he?
No, he got proper excited. Bless him. It was his moment.
Yeah, he was. He was like, "This is it. Mum's gonna be proud."
Breakout moment.
For the Empire, dead.
And to be fair, again, as much as you could criticize, say, for example, why wasn't he just all about the money? Why did he have to say for the Empire? There's people I know that vote by colour in general elections, and it doesn't matter what the person is standing or what the policies are, they just vote by the fact that one's wearing red and one's wearing blue. They don't give a shit.
Very true.
So
conservative.
He was very much similar like that. Yeah. But for the
don't have the same ring to it, does it?
No. Well,
for the Tories. Okay.
That's better.
Yeah. The Nazi Party. No.
Well, the Empire is loosely based on that.
It is loosely based, and we can't escape the fact that it is. And to be fair, do you know what? I thought if you look back over Star Wars, right, they pretty much kind of skirted over the fact of what things were like loosely based on in history. Yeah. So there was a lot of wearing of black. There's a lot of sitting around on the table, especially in New Hope with Vader and everything. And there's a little bit of that feeling, but everyone's British. So that's and let's face it, that's only because it was filmed in England, and they just thought, well, we need something to distinguish between our actors.
So if it was filmed in Berlin,
he's gone again. We'll get a load of British. It's just gives you an out like the
We also do play villains well because we don't portray our emotions as much, so we are quite good. We are quite good at playing the villain.
Yeah. So and they've kept it going. But right, all of that aside, I'll get to my point. This was all going in until they did the Rogue One, and then they bring in Death Troopers, right, in black, who are very similar to something I think in German history. I thought that's maybe pushing it a little bit too far.
I thought the sequels pushed it as well when they were having their rallies.
And the logos.
Starkiller Base, when he was giving
outside in Starkiller Base.
Hux was out there giving it big, and I was thinking, Jesus, what the hell am I watching here?
Yeah,
I'm back at
just
school
needed
again.
a little ginger tash, didn't he?
Something he needed. I thought that was worse.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. See.
So I don't know. We diverged into that, but anyway, So I particularly liked the bit with the hyperdrive and stuff. I thought it was a good part of the story. That we had we got some gunshot firing from Hera. We got Ahsoka in with we see Marek properly. That we I think it's the first time we see him properly in it.
Yeah.
And we get the battle, and then that battle was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool.
I just like the way I think when we did the watch of it, when the ship comes in and she's blasting, and Ahsoka's not like stood there, she's just like running straight to it, straight at the blasters, straight down the middle, and then she just goes.
Oh, where she moves out the way the lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
that bit is.
That's the best bit. Yeah, just that.
That bit was cool. That was really cool because he obviously threw it at her, didn't he? And then it's coming back, and then she just kind of like casually just goes whilst looking at him. Like, I'm not.
It's like when they made, back in the 90s, the explosion. Don't look at the explosion, walk away, kind of thing.
Yeah. Which leads on to probably my favourite part of that episode. Actually, was Hera chasing the ship, and then we get to see Chopper. And how funny was he in that scene?
Well, we get to see the Phantom as well, don't we? Get to see the Phantom.
We do get to see the Phantom for the first time, yeah.
And the first thing I thought of when I saw the Phantom and they were driving the Phantom was thinking, the Lego one, you're never going to get her in that figure in that. She had loads of room. She's like, that's not enough. She's like, she'd be like that with no legs, wouldn't she? In the Lego version.
That's what they do, don't they?
18 parts of that Lego set in it. I thought it's about 18 parts or something.
It was a cool scene, to be fair. The special effects are awesome as well. They do.
The way it's moving as well. Yeah, and being shot.
They've done a proper good job with the special effects. Yeah.
Can I just say as well, the music? I think Disney or wherever it is, they get the music very good. Like in Mando, Andor, everything. This one's the music brilliant.
The theme tune is
really
fantastic. Good.
Yeah, good.
There hasn't been a bad score. If we're going to go back across all of them, the Book of Boba was a real. I mean, I know it was a bit of a Mickey tape, but I did like it. It was recognisable.
Yeah, it's cool.
Very tribal. Obi-Wan, again, the music was fine in that. Obviously, Andor, the music was really good because they used those thingy singers, the throat singers to make that noise. There's a group of
the Mongolian ones,
yeah.
There's the only live action I haven't watched, to be fair, is Andor.
I liked Andor. I do call it bland.
Really
there are huge sections of it that are very, very slow. But for anybody that thinks so far, Ahsoka, the first 3 episodes is worse than the first 3 episodes of Andor, really needs to go and look at themselves in the mirror.
No way.
Because the first 3 episodes of Andor are slow. They have to be, because there's a lot more building they need to do.
Slow enough to stop me in my tracks, trust me. And I tell you what, I don't want to poo on it, but I am going to give it another chance. I'm going to sit and watch it again because of what Craig's saying. It picks up as it goes on, so I do want to give it another chance. But I can't. You need to give your head a wobble if you think what we're saying. The first 3 episodes of Ahsoka's not as good.
Yeah.
And then obviously we got to see Chopper.
Yep. Yeah, Chopper was cool.
Being funny.
He's a little rascal, isn't he?
Looking through these parts. What you done with my parts?
He's one of the few droids where I kind of understand him. I can understand little bits of R2, like when he goes, "Are you all right?" It's like when C-3PO is walking away. But Chopper, pretty much all the time, I get him. I get his.
As in, you understand his language when he speaks.
Yeah, I kind of get what he's trying to say. I know it's Dave Filoni that does the voice, but I kind of get what he's saying. It's like I could interpret him.
Yeah.
When he says okay, I heard him say okay. I'm sure I heard him say okay in one of the scenes, maybe in episode 3. He goes, and you think, yeah, he said okay, so you get what he's because of the tone of it. But yeah, I know where you're coming from. But yeah,
I think it was genius to put the hands inside him, to have the little hands that come out, because he uses them to create expressions.
Yeah,
exactly.
he's cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's going like that. Where is it? And he's banging on the side.
She's like,
where is it?
Look underneath the thing, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, there it is."
You've been messing around in my stuff, basically. It's hilarious.
And then we're all waiting for some kind of like, what's he going to do? And he literally is going to lob it.
Yeah, he just spins around and throws it.
Don't miss this time. It's like, oh, won't. He went, oh, won't.
Yeah, I thought it was going to like load it into the the phantom or something, but no, just spins and throws the thing.
He just lobs it.
The ninja star.
Which is like, she just literally goes, don't miss this time. He goes, oh, won't.
No, it's brilliant. If we get little moments like that with Chopper through the episodes, just give that light relief. I think is fantastic.
Yeah, 100%.
There's been quite a few droids in it, to be fair, and I know we've got the two like main ones that we can like compare to R2D2 and C3PO to help drive the story. But a lot of the other droids that are in there as well have been quite cooler than I thought they were going to be. Like we've had a couple of new ones, haven't we, on the ring and stuff? But
yeah, there were actually. Yeah,
that we hadn't seen before. So then it's the old storyline. A lot of people criticised again. Oh my God, there's a tracking device on it, and they're going to track it to where it's going. But we get a little bit more then, don't we, of that thing we'd seen in the trailers with the globe hologram thing and the green flame that indicates the witches of Dagomar. So and then obviously we got. I saw that the criticism was she's human. How can she be a witch of Dagomar? And it's like she's a descendant. They literally said it in the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, a witch mated with a human. Look what happened. A whole line of people that don't look like witches. But she does have a kind of weird face. I mean, they shave her head, don't they?
They've made it different, haven't they, since Mando? Like her makeup, she's a bit whiter than she was, I think.
I agree. She does look slightly different in this show than she did in Mando.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka Ventress wasn't a witch. She was a Sith apprentice for Dooku, but she was a different type of race. She wasn't a Dagomar witch. So a lot of people are getting confused with what the witches actually look like. You see them with makeup on, and usually their headdress on. You don't actually see them. I think they all think they're bald like Ventress, and they're not. So I think that's caused some confusion as well about what they actually look like, because they kind of look like hair a little bit, just with the big headdress on.
Okay.
That's all new to me, so all the witch stuff's new to me, I'll be honest with you.
I didn't know
So I'm picking it up as we go.
I found out with the game, to be honest.
What was the game with the one where you built up your armies and you ran them in? What was that one called? Where it was more like you basically you build a Rancor pit, and then Rancors come out of it. Do you know that kind of game? You build and you can direct your troops in, like Total War, that kind of thing.
Total Star Wars. I don't.
There was a Star Wars one where you could fly ships in space and then do missions on the ground, and you could actually recruit. If you were playing the Empire side, you could recruit the Dagomar witches, and they literally rode Rancors into battle. And
they did, didn't they? That's what you had. Yeah, I used to play that, didn't I?
Is that like the Command & Conquer one?
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
I can't think what it's called. But yeah, it's like the Command & Conquers, like Age of Empires, Command & Conquer kind of
that kind of thing. It was really cool. That's how I learned about them.
Yeah, it's a lot deeper than I know.
No, I didn't know they were witches until this kind of episode and Mando and stuff. But why not?
And again, that scene with all the three of them four of them, because I think Marek was there as well, was just well crafted. You kind of knew what was going. There was little clues on the thing what's coming next week. It's not like, we'd have to go into the whole thing if they're going to travel to a new galaxy with a multiverse or anything like that. It's literally, it's a galaxy where the only way you can get it is the hyper gate to it, or the thing that the star whales, space whales, Purgles use. You need to know the coordinates. But in that hyperspace, because if if the computer can't plot the course, you don't know where you're flying anywhere. So is it just that it's not mapped? So the Purgles know it, but nobody else knows it. It's a bit like Columbus, isn't it? Going out, no one knew how to find the new world till he did it.
Yeah.
So they're just going to go, basically build a big hyper ring, and then just going to go shooting through, and then hopefully bring back the Seventh Fleet. Is it Seventh Fleet? Well,
Seventh,
Thrawn.
I think it's Seventh Fleet.
My question is, how are they going to bring him back though?
But it's a big ring, in it, so they'll all.
Yeah, so it'll go.
I don't think there's anybody else going with the
Like
ring.
in Return of the Jedi, when they'll
The
come
ring
out
will
of
go there and then bring him with them. Okay.
And then they all come through it, like they did with the little ships going to the ring, don't they? When they're hyperdriving, the little Obi-Wan ship goes.
Yeah, the built-in rings that they leave behind in the older ships.
If they can only bring back one at a time, you see, they can go and get one Star Destroyer, come with Thrawn on it, come back, and then fly off and get the others, can't they? One at a time. Be a relay.
It's not quite complete though, is it?
That'd be a great episode, wouldn't it? Just watching that for.
It's missing an engine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the bottom engine, isn't it? There's 4 engines in there, or 3 engines, 4 engines.
The big one's got to go in. The beast.
Missing an engine.
The beast.
The beast.
And I'm assuming that's what those people were building, right?
Yeah. That's what they were building on Corellia.
There you go.
And that was pretty much it.
I was going to say, what do we think of the second episode in terms of runtime? Because it was slightly shorter than the first episode, which was just under an hour. So the second episode was, I think, about.
The second was fine. The third one was too short, wasn't it? But I mean, that's what it is. What it is.
That is my biggest gripe. That I'd rather they put the 8 episodes together and then just divide them up.
Give people the choice if they want to watch it. And
the
thing is, at the end of it all, anyway, everyone's going to watch it as a movie type thing, like they do with what's out there at the moment, anyway. But if you're watching it.
It's annoying binge watching it when it's like only 30 minutes and stops and you go.
I agree.
Yeah,
because you're getting into it. Yeah,
Netflix and Amazon are really good. They just start the next episodes.
Yeah, that's right.
Disney, they give you loads of credits, and then all of a sudden it goes starts in 20 seconds.
That's the problem. That's what gets me as well. You'll see like Ahsoka episode 4 runtime this week. It's actually going to be a bit longer, but 10 or 15 minutes of that are just credits.
Lots of credits.
And lots of credits. It's like so. I think
they put all the different language credits on it as well. Yeah. No one cares. No one's watching it. The only time you ever watch the credits
if you think there's going to be an end scene,
That's why I like to watch it on my laptop because I just hover over the mouse and see if there's any. Oh, okay, there's nothing.
Unless you're my mum who used to like to watch the credits on all the films. I don't know why, and so she invented a game where if your name came up in the credits, you lost. Whoever was left standing.
So Scott, I was always out because there's a lot of Americans. Scott.
The best ones we were watching films with the actor Scott Glenn because that took both of you out in one go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Just to answer Trev, who's watching in the chat at the moment, you're correct. Yeah, the last 3 episodes they have progressively got less and less, but I believe episode 5 is nearly an hour long, so they're going to be up and down between now and episode 8. So I'm not quite sure.
I suppose each episode's based on the director in it. So if Dave Filoni's doing one and then somebody else is doing one, then they can't just edit it because then they have to do it. The direction would change halfway through
because of the director.
Yeah. So basically, if they pay the directors by the minute, right, then they'll want the short episodes that they do, and then the one that Dave does, where he's just doing it in his own goodwill, he'll do them longer. That's
episode 1 and 5, which are the longest episodes, I believe. So.
Either that or no one's allowed to do an episode longer than Dave.
Yeah, it's probably some rule, isn't it?
It's his baby, isn't it?
Because he's write the theme tune, he's sung the theme tune.
So what we giving episode 2 then? Out of 10.
9.
I'm gonna go 9 again. I think the first 2 were both solid 9s.
I'm gonna go 8 for it.
I'm gonna go 8 as well.
Oh, you've increased by 0.5.
He's a bit stingy, though, isn't he, Bazza?
He's tightening.
No, I'm not.
Are you like, what's his name on Strictly? Who don't give 10s until the last show?
Craig, he's Craig Howard.
He's crazy.
There's a lot of similarities, to be fair.
I'll explain it more afterwards, but when we get afterwards, I'll compare it to what I would give a 9.5. It's got 10. He's got to be spotless.
You watched last episode 10,
so Craig Revel Hallward.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm an 8 on it.
He's gonna get up and do the blooming like jazz hands because that's all that Greg River Harwood seems to do as well.
I'm with the brother, and I'm giving it a 9 as well.
Oh, a 9, 2 9s.
It was a good episode, that one.
Yeah, I liked it. So my biggest issue again with episode 3 is just the runtime. It was
so short.
Sure, everything in it was spot on.
I got up early and everything ready. I didn't even finish my breakfast.
I agree. When I watch them all at 2 a.m. when they come out. I was watching it and I was half asleep, but I was watching it and I was like, "Is that it?" I couldn't believe it because I was really getting into it, even though I was half asleep. I just couldn't believe just how short it was. It was just over half an hour, wasn't it? 32 minutes.
Yeah, 34 minutes. Yeah.
And I like the way people were going, "Don't spoil it. I've not watched it yet." And I'm thinking, well, one, it only takes 30 minutes to watch. And secondly, there isn't anything really to spoil in it. Because if I'd have told you that she'd got out the ship and had a fight with some starfighters with her lightsabers, you'd have gone, well, I need to see that.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was cool.
What I will say, though, is some of the best Mando episodes have been the shorter ones, the shorter episodes. So
I enjoyed it.
When we get to the end of episode 3 and we finish talking about it, we'll see from the scores what we think about it. But
it's probably is a sign of a good thing to do with the series, because if you want more, then it's playing out well, isn't it? If they deliberately want, but my problem is if you wait you wait all that time, it lands, you get all the hype, you get the first 2 episodes, it's like, yes, gotta wait a week, counting down, and the week comes up and you get half an hour. And then you
you're right about that, because we had the first week, we had 2 episodes to watch, and then we were like, right, the 3rd episode, and it was like, okay, so I've done half an hour.
Savor it, because once this is finished, we don't know when we're going to get the next lot. So just savor it while we got it, is what I'd say.
This is my favorite episode out of all of them.
I agree. Yeah,
I liked it because if it was longer, it would have been less hype for the next one, because they're going to go after him in the forest, and she's going to fight one of the 3, Ahsoka, and it's going to be cool because it's going to be in the red trees and all that stuff. And I'm happy to wait another episode for that, because if it had happened in the same episode, I think it'd have been too much stuff going on. There'd been the fight in space, her going out the spaceship, like destroying other starfighters with a lightsaber, all this ridiculous stuff happening, and then another fight. You'd have been, this is a lot for one episode.
You could have padded out a little bit of the hyperspace and the training. And so in theory, what you've got in this episode is you've got a little bit of the training, and again, points about being force sensitive. So you could have added a little bit more depth to that if you wanted to, just to add a few minutes on. You had the whole scene with Hera and the Republic Council being pathetic, which is, again, people criticizing it. But if they go, oh yeah, let's send all the fleet, it's going to be boring, isn't it?
There's no war.
They're not going to, are they? Because they think they've won and they're going to keep the people happy and blah 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 blah. Typical governments,
It's how the First Order. They're trying to build up to how the First Order came back in the sequels, didn't they? So they've got to give it.
They're rubbish, because if you think about it, if Luke and Han hadn't have turned up and helped them on Yavin, they wouldn't have done knack all. They were rubbish. What were they doing? Just sat there with the plans doing now after Rogue One, weren't they? What were they doing? They had some guy in a tree with a spear. What's that spear going to do? Wave it at the ship's coming down.
I'm kind of glad that the training wasn't too long, though. I'm a bit sick of training.
But I like the training. That was really cool, though.
I enjoyed it, yeah.
Doing all the Japanese moves, weren't they?
You've got a gripe there with the opening one, haven't you?
I don't like the fact that they were fighting on top of a table and then they didn't clean it. I found that very unhygienic. And that's my biggest criticism. Like, they just have a proper fight, and then up comes a table, and they're eating a dinner on it. And it's like,
but they didn't eat spaghetti on it, like straight off the table, did they? They didn't go.
Yeah, but you'll be sweaty. You'll be sweaty, and you're going.
They called up Barry Scott with his Sillet Bang.
Yeah, just
I can imagine Cabbage at a stag do going to a strip club, going, "Ooh, this is appalling! You can't be dancing on these tables. I'm out of here."
Right? Yeah. You got to be clean.
Hugh Young just puts down these other training things, and out of his backpack pulls out Sillet Bang and starts going, I'm going to clean this now before we eat on it, you dirty little Jedi.
He's in the wardrobe.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my gripe.
That was his biggest gripe about it.
Do you know when he was making those Japanese noises with the Brockens? They was practicing with the Brockens.
Oh, they were saying the words, weren't they?
Yeah, they were saying words. Well, they were the same ones that the armourer was using in Book of Boba when she was teaching teaching Mando to use because she was making those Japanese words.
Possibly.
And I was thinking she
Look up
using
that.
the same text, same language.
It
Like,
is,
'cause
yeah.
she was making the same type of noise, wasn't she?
It is based on samurai. It's a bit of a thing that I think I've heard people talk about that it does exist in the Star Wars universe.
I've heard no one mention that. It just literally come to me.
Well, there you go then. That's what Baz is here for these little.
I hope we see him though with real lightsabers fighting. It'd be awesome,
Who?
wouldn't
Who?
it? What's his name? The bot. Young. What's it? I forget his
Oh,
name.
Hu Yang.
Young. Just like suddenly just comes out, General Grievous style.
I was going to
Hello
say,
there.
imagine going Grievous ape on
Yeah.
HK droid, taking on HK droids,
Yeah.
going mental on them.
I hope so.
It's gonna. Your technique's very poor. Head off. Jobs it.
I made your sabers. Every single
Yeah.
one of them. I know all about them.
If he fights against Shin Hottie, he's literally she's coming out and she's going, "I've not seen this one before. Would you mind me have a look first before we fight?" Very nice.
Chops
like
her
how
hand
he
off and just takes it off her. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very good.
Very nice. Very good. A bit balance is a bit off. You could do some better with this mechanism. Now I wouldn't have built it like this. She stood there going. Yeah.
I like they didn't push her, Sabine, because I suppose we're going to go back to talking about her with the Force again, and how much she knows about the Force. Like, for
she's
instance,
going
when she
full
was
of
trying to
cup.
push the cup. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go really corny and make her do it straight away.
I love when Baza talks about the Force.
I kind of wanted her to
The
suddenly
Force.
go like that, and instead of it moving a little bit towards her, it flew real fast and just smashed in her hand.
Yeah, just cracked in her hand.
She's obviously going to. She's going to do it when she needs it.
We haven't said about the colours, Baza.
Sorry?
Colours.
The colours in the beginning of the third episode. On the helmets, the colours.
Oh yeah, the colours.
So no one else has seen that the colours are different colours on the
No,
helmet.
we're skipping now.
What you did? You haven't seen it?
No,
I
skip it.
I skipped it. With cabbage, I
So
skipped
the
that one.
blue and red, and there's like red on different characters all of a sudden.
I thought I saw multicolours, but I'm not quite sure. That's why I didn't
No,
want
I
to
think there's
comment on
definitely a red on Sabine.
Where's Disney Plus? Fuck.
it. Red
Yeah.
on Sabine.
There's a red on Sabine, and there's a red on. Is there a red on somebody else?
So what are we saying? What are we saying that signifies then? A red.
I don't
being on
know.
Sabine?
I'm pretty much thinking the theories are out, and everyone's going, "Oh, it means this, that, and the other." And I'm thinking it might just.
Yeah,
be
yeah.
colour.
And
We
Jar
need to
Jar
again,
Binks is a
surely.
Sith.
I think Jar Jar Binks was the Phantom Menace. He caused
She's-
all the problems.
He calls
Yeah,
all the didn't
Probably. But she's
Giving
not
him the
really had
power.
any kind of
Watching it
Sith
now.
tendencies yet, is she? Or is she in
Could
the
she be tempted
he?
to
Bit of a
dark
rebel,
side?
isn't she? She's a bit of a rebel. So could she be tempted?
I wonder if it's just like literally to feed Star Wars theories. I think they just, you know what I mean? It's like you feed them a load of rubbish, so they come up with all these things. You feed them stuff like, I bet you Sam, what's his face, hasn't even done any voice credits. We'll put him in just to feed you rubbish, so they'll go off on it, so they won't guess what's really going to happen.
So when they actually do an Easter egg, no one sees it. 'cause
No
no
one's
one's
got a
looking
clue,
for
no.
it.
So
Yeah,
wait.
no one's looking for it.
So you've got.
Here we go.
second.
Real
Here we go.
time. This is real time, folks.
Darth Vader red. C-3PO blue. Mando blue. One of them droid things red. Oh, and what's his name? It was supposed to be Starkiller, whatever. Blue.
Yeah.
Hu Yang blue.
Morak.
Stormtrooper red.
Morak
Chopper
blue, did you say?
Morak's blue, yeah.
Ooh, whose helmet was that? Was that Sabine's helmet? The last one,
Yeah.
then, the red one.
Yeah, you see.
Okay.
The people that get is it role reversal, so he's Marak.
I was going to say, yeah, Marek blue, and then
Maybe
Right.
Marek is Sabine and Sabine is Marek, and it's gonna be like a Scooby-Doo thing.
It's the real Sabine.
Yeah. And I'm Marek. I mean,
oh god,
It
it's
probably
so
means
glad we don't look
absolutely
in, read
nothing.
into this stuff. Yeah, I know it's
No one's
it's probably
green.
absolutely nothing.
You know, no one's green on there.
It's
or
going to
white.
cause all the controversy. They
or yellow.
they know, don't they?
Purple.
All that's
pink.
The thing is,
Too soon?
nothing. What I would say about that is nothing happened in that episode
to give you
to
that
match
feeling.
what happened with the colours. So why bother putting the colours in before? Wouldn't it have been better if there was to put the colours in the next? If something was going to happen in the next episode, because this is right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, it don't make any sense anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was a good episode though.
Yep. And then we got the
ending was cool.
the son.
Yeah, we got to see Jason Sindula.
Yep.
Yeah,
with green hair, proving Lego got it wrong.
His slightly shiny black green hair.
Yeah, it's green, blacky green. So he's and his interaction with Chopper is going to be good as well because he's clearly going to be a good Jedi.
Yeah.
You actually got if you haven't seen Rebels, you could see Chopper as a little bit of a bugger because he was saying he was telling Jason everything, wasn't he? Everything that happened on the planet and everything. So
basically spilling the dirt and winding him up.
Yep.
I'd believe that from him.
It'll be interesting to see how they're going to explain what happens to him, moving forward. I mean, I do really think that they, based on how they've done all the stuff so far, do they need to scrap the sequels and do them again? Because they're not going to make much sense, are they? There's a bit about the First Order that they managed to retcon in the Shadow Council.
But yeah, I think because they're going to have Ray back.
Yeah. Just like you're going to have to do some serious work to bridge the gap, aren't you?
I would like Jason, him, to go to the dark side, and it'd be him against Grogu, like in an epic film.
Well, they're only halfway through, aren't they? That's what Filoni said, or was it? What's his name? Happy. What's his name? Happy. What's his name?
Happy Gilmore.
Gilmore.
No.
John Favreau.
John Favreau. Yeah, I called him Happy because it's easy to remember. So John Favreau. Yeah, they've said that they're only halfway through the storytelling before they get to the last.
Yeah, but they're going to have to because it's that crap.
That's what I mean. So they've still got a whole lot of series to make before they get to that. So they've got plenty of time to explain it, I'd imagine.
But I don't want people to I'm not like anybody who wants people to die. I don't want all these cool guys to die.
They will.
No, every now and again you need to have one for the shock value. You've got to. It's part of it, isn't it?
They're all going to be dead.
As long as it's not a lightsaber to the gut, so we've got more controversy.
Well, I'd do more that die by it just to annoy everyone. Yeah, I'd do more personally.
So you see him, and because Scott's running out of time, so we get the epic space battle, which was brilliant, with that looked like Spitfires to me. They were cool.
They were cool.
The noises they made as well was very different to what we hear from TIE fighters and that.
Which I think the Lego sets, look good.
They do look good. I think we will talk about them a little bit if Scott has to shoot off, but she gets outside in her spacesuit, and then people have been saying like, "Oh my god, it's a bit too far."
That to me was.
Can you do that again, Cabbage?
Personally.
What was that? She's been a composer to the.
She had to do something, or they were going to get destroyed, weren't they? I mean,
I know there was that. Yeah, I know. Just for me, it was just a little bit. It's the first time ever I felt a little bit, but only a little bit.
A bit cringy.
What?
Yeah, just I don't know. I just.
I'd suggest they need a bit of an upgrade on their weaponry. Those spaceships. They're a little bit weak.
I quite liked it. I quite liked the whole point of it going outside.
Yep.
It was different, and
I struggled with it.
I
think it was the suit that made it. Like I think what Baz is trying to say, because the suit looked a bit odd. But I found
it difficult. She was deflecting bullets with it, or not bullets, but
I like that bit. I thought that was pretty cool.
But I get why she did it,
like John Wick style,
and then deflects them. It's not like they're gonna she can narrow the blaster.
Then I just found it a little bit different. I was like, surely they've got bigger lasers or whatever and all this shit.
I'm sure Star Wars fans and people have been asking for why don't the Jedi's go outside the ships and just deflect it. But so Filoni said,
I think they have done it in cartoon series.
Yeah, last means necessary. I understand the reasoning behind doing it. Just for me, it's just a little bit. What is too far for Star Wars, I suppose. Just for me, it's just a little bit.
They could have done other things, couldn't they? They could have not disabled the ship to the point where they could have got away and then hid on the planet, couldn't they?
Yeah, I suppose so.
It didn't have to come to the fact that the only thing was for their. Basically, she got out of the cockpit and she stood up. She stood up and deflected them. The ships were like the Cancer, and she stood up to Cancer.
That's it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Just before I go, sorry guys, I got to go.
Yes, mate.
I give that one an 8.5.
Oh, he's dropped 0.5.
I like the second one better, but that's my thing.
Okay.
Keep supporting cancer, everybody. Love you all. I've got to go. I've got to order some food. The girlfriend's waiting. So
Bye-bye.
Good to see you, buddy. See you on the next one.
bye.
Yep, bye. You can't leave now, can you? Oh,
He's still there.
that was awkward. I thought I'd have to kick him. And then they set it up on. I think that again, the planet we were talking about the trees. The planet was really coolly contrasted, so that they could because she's that ship is like a dark red, isn't it? So the trees being dark red as well helps. That was lucky. But some people would say that was fortunate. Instant camouflage.
Did
They
you
did
notice
turn
the
it off though as well, didn't they? They turned all the electric off the ship to
Yeah.
hide
That would
themselves.
stop you seeing a great big ship packed under some trees. wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess
the lights
a
on.
bit camo, I suppose, but yeah.
Did you guys
Got no
notice the conflict between Shin and Morgan in that? Or was it the
Yeah,
only one that picked
there
up
was
on
a
that?
little bit, wasn't there?
There was a little bit of,
Well, there was a little bit of Sithy type where, you telling me what to do, you to pay me to get a job and I'm going to do it. And it's like, don't come here. And it's like, well, we'll do what we want.
He was cool at the end, though, wasn't he?
Ordering the troops.
Yeah, and it just went in on his face, and he was like, he looks a bit peed off by the whole situation.
Well,
Purgles in live action.
oh yeah, we forgot about Space Worlds.
Yeah,
Again,
confusing,
made sense
isn't
to
it?
have them there. It's a
They look
gas
really
refueling
good.
station in it. That's what they do. They consume
That's
so
right.
in order to
hyperspace.
travel through space, they consume the gas, which is very gassy, that planet. So that's
I
why
learned
it's
about
at that point to transfer to another point. So they come in, they go into the atmosphere, they suck up the gas. Did you need to know that? Would it have made it more understandable that there was a load of great big space whales in? Possibly. I think they maybe missed a trick. Like, again, the length of the episode could have been added to the point where when they're engaging and scanning the planet, could they have seen that there was Purgles there and then gone, and then Huyon going saying there's also a large concentration of
Gas, whatever.
gas, so and so, and then it would just help fill it. Add another couple of minutes to it, which might have just increase the length, because he does a bit of downloading, doesn't he, and gets hit, and then we don't really know what he's actually got, do we? They don't even explain that.
Oh, they do. 'Cause he kind of goes, "I was, I've never seen anything like this before," didn't he? And it's the big old. He doesn't really allude to what it is. He just goes, "Oh, I've never seen anything like this before."
Yeah.
Well, what they could have done as well, when they're
that.
traveling through hyperspace and they're going one way, you see the M1 starfighter coming the other way. Maybe not, but yeah, that's just my head. Because I want to see Grogu. Give me Grogu. I want to see a little cameo. I know we're not going to get it. It's just me. You know how much I love the little green guy. But yeah, I mean, the way they link that up with the Purgles is pretty good as well in hyperspace.
He'll upscale Chopper too much.
Yeah, that's the downside. I don't want Chopper to. Chopper. I want to see more of Chopper. He's brilliant.
You want to see more of a Chopper?
A Chopper, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It's my favorite one.
So what are you giving that one?
I'm going to give that a 9. I know it's a bit probably, it's my favorite one out of the 3.
Taking Ahsoka away from going outside and doing what she did, which I can still live with. I can live with it. 8.5.
Oh, hello.
Oh, he's got up. See, I would have gone with 8.5. I think it drops a little bit from the other two mainly because of the length. Because I think there was room to do more scope with what they had.
Yeah, if you take length away,
I don't, which happens to us all the time.
Don't be naughty out there, people. But if you take length away, I think, the first two are fantastic. Because I give them slightly lower scores, still a fantastic score to me. I liked what I saw from this one. It gave me what I wanted for that half an hour. So if that was about 45 minutes long, we've added extra stuff that we talked about that they could have added in. Not the M1 starfighter going past them in hyperspace and saying hello to each other, but if they give us a little bit more, that would have been it is my favorite episode. But I think it could have done with an extra 10-15 minutes.
It was a bit of like you say, buying time to build that relationship between the two of them, where Sabine came into her own, because she is technically very good at fixing stuff and planting explosives, particularly around explosives. So I would
She's
like
artistic as well, isn't she? She's very artistic.
I'd like to include some of that into her story, because obviously, if you've not seen Rebels and you don't know that she's really good with explosives, or she does graffiti bombs and stuff, and paints her own armor and white's different color, and so yeah, it'd be interesting.
Be cool to see her helmet in. I'd like to see her with a helmet on.
Yeah, with just wearing a helmet. I think we will see her wearing.
Yeah, we will do.
Even just for a scene, just to see it, it'd be good to see.
We will do.
So yeah, I thought I said it dropped a little bit. They could have done things differently, but it didn't make. I know what you're saying about going outside, but I think they have done it in the cartoon. So I think they're trying to just sort of. He's trying to blend certain amount of stuff into.
Yeah.
Look, it's Star Wars. You know, it's not real life. It's Star Wars. They take real life scenarios and bits and pieces. It's, you know, like I said about the Brocken, you know, the wooden swords that they train with. That's actually a real life thing. Yeah. But it's, you know, they do take real life stuff. But it's Star Wars at the end of the day. It's going to be far fetched. It is a galaxy far, far away. But we should just enjoy it for what it is. And I'm along for the ride, especially with not knowing a lot of the backstory. I know a bit, but not the backstory like what you do, Craig, for instance.
Yeah, I think again, if you're gonna like talk about like the deflecting of the ships, it's like the ships that in Star Wars and any movies or films, they tend to like do the thing you wouldn't do. Like we said before about them all carrying on shooting at the Jedi for no reason, when in reality you would have dropped your weapon and run away. Yeah. Those ships see the Jedi come out with two lightsabers and they go, I know what I'm going to do, and shoot at the Jedi. Why not shoot at the ship?
Well, that's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? But they do, don't they? That's what they do for the story. They shoot at her so that she can deflect him. It's
well, yeah, and I think the girl wanted to kill her, didn't she?
Yeah.
She was kind of taken by the dark side, wasn't she? She'd rather kill her than probably she would have killed her if she'd blown her ship up, you know? Yeah.
But yeah, I think the series, from what I was expecting to what's been delivered, I think it's pretty much on par with what I was expecting. It's just got Dave Filoni written all over it, and I like his stuff. And I think that's the thing with, he's done the cartoon series, and he's now got the license to do live action, and obviously that comes with a bigger budget. It's harder to do than animation, and he's going with it, and I think he's the full on. And it may be that the episodes 30 minutes because they spent a lot of the budget. I mean, they do have constraints with money, so they will have had to go on, right, we can only do this much because we want to have this loads of space scenes, or we want to have, you know, we want to have CGI Purgles flying around just to get them in there. So it's probably why it's shorter and that, and I enjoyed it.
Goes back to what you're saying. Yeah, visually, it's a stunning program so far. It can only get better. I mean, we're only 3 episodes in, still another 5 episodes. It's only going to get better, people, in my opinion.
So. Yeah, I hope so.
I just hope they're in a huge wait before we get like other stuff, because I hate it when they give you the little tease. But I suppose it's just like waiting for the films, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's always a bit of a break.
You know, the Force Awakens came, and then they gave us a bit of a period of time. We had to wait for the Last Jedi, and then we wished we hadn't waited for it.
Yeah,
there was a lot of mess up.
It can't get much any worse. And then, of course, they bring out the last one, and it was like, Jesus Christ, the casino and the horses running on the ship. What the hell was all that about?
That was bad. That was bad. But with those last 3 sequels, wasn't there issues with the directors? And
oh yeah, there was all sorts of stuff.
JJ had to re-jump back in and help.
Yeah, but they should have just kept him on for the whole thing. I don't understand why you get him to relaunch. He did the same with Star Trek. He relaunches it and then he bogs off.
Yeah, should have done all 3.
You need continuity, people.
He did the last one, didn't he? He did 1 and 3, didn't he?
Yeah, he came back to do the last one. It wasn't originally supposed to be him doing the last one, though, was it?
Get Bryce Dallas Howard to do the movies.
Yeah, she probably will do a good job.
Give her a chance. She's done some good episodes.
So let's answer our number 1 fan at the moment, Trevor, and say about the Lego sets, because it is a interesting thing. There are, how many sets are there based on Ahsoka? Is the
4 or 5?
3.
There's her spaceship, the Ghost,
T6 Ghost, and the Twin Pack.
Yeah, 3.
So I don't like the T6 ship. I like the figures. And I don't want to buy a ship just for the figures, even though the figures are good. And Hu Yong for me should have been drum lacquered in silver,
100%.
not left in the
100%.
flashy color. I think that's a ridiculous decision that they've done. So he is one that if somebody was to do a custom print of him or drum lacquer him, then I probably would be tempted, even though I don't buy custom figures. The T6 is too small. I like the original one cockpit, and I don't see why they've done it, because I think they could have made it swooshable by just putting the reprinting the Falcon, Millennium Falcon cockpit in that color.
Yep.
It's not like it's a mold they won't have, and yeah, it'll have added a little bit more to it, but then it would have reduced the amount of bricks anyway. So you could have kept the ship the same and just put the Falcon cockpit on. If I do get it, then that's what I would try and do. Put a Falcon UCS one, that is, and just see what it looks like. The twin ships now are more appealing because of the series, because I've seen both ships and I like both ships. But I would also have liked them to have done the support ships as a Lego set.
Yep.
And the Ghost, I think, is perfect as it is, apart from the green hair, which I don't know whether they'll revisit that and put out one with the green hair.
Same.
I would say with the T6, I like it because it's a tiddly version. I would mind it to be an extra 20 quid and to be slightly bigger with a bigger cockpit. By spending an extra £20 to do that, I wouldn't mind that to have happened. But for £63, I think it is, I quite like it. The figs in all of them, I think, are fantastic. Apart from obviously what Craig mentioned with Hu Yang, it could have been, rather than that sandy colour, was it tan colour? It could have been drum lacquered, would have been so much better. But if they do something like that, which I don't think we'll get him again, they'll probably do in UCS. They'd want to do something like that, I'd imagine, for a bigger set.
I do find it interesting that the Ghost, when you look at the original Ghost and this Ghost has got loads more interior, and they've really thought about it. But then the T6 has got hardly any. Well, from what Mitty was saying, there's no interior.
No, it's
just one seat.
One seat for one.
Weird,
figure.
Isn't it? It's like, why not have the same designers working together on the range, at least for some consistency? Yeah, you want to make it smaller. The other thing that I want Lego to do is the Kirby, like a Kirby piece, very similar with that positive stud on a plate either side. I don't know why they won't do that.
100%.
Just so that you can have no bad side to it.
Yeah.
Because it's a cheap way of doing a play set and a display set. So you want to make money, you're going to make money by doing, like, I wouldn't do a UCS T6, but they might, given the fact that it looks really good in the TV show.
Possibly, yeah.
It looks fantastic in the TV show.
But then again, if you look at what they did with the UCS X-Wing, they put the anti-stud plated tile on that, the bigger tile on it to clear up the wing. Why not just come out with that that piece that, unless there's some consistency with quality that it breaks too easy or it doesn't do anything. But I would like to be able to put tiles positively to each other to have a more cleaner wing.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, consistency, I think, is the problem with Star Wars Lego in particular. It's like you'll get one good set, one not so good set. The odd minifig don't seem to be right. I mean, I don't want to sit here and turn it into a slating Lego session, but yeah, with Lego coming out with some fantastic sets at the moment, especially with non-IP sets like Viking Village and the Eldorado Fortress and that, you would have thought with something as special as Star Wars and the amount of fans and the amount of people that spend money on Lego Star Wars, that they would get small things like that right.
I don't know why they don't have scope for developing the process. So they'll get the original concept drawings, then they'll develop it, and it takes them longer than like a lot of other companies to develop the product. But why not go back to them and then go, have we got this right, for any final detail? Because you look at Hasbro Pulse and other stuff, when they've done the Ghost ship, they've got details way better than, and how are they getting access to it? Well,
that's a good point.
It's the production, isn't it? Because it's quicker for them to produce, the Black Series and the figures than it is for Lego to build, design, print, get it into production, get it on with all their other stuff that's going on at the time. But you just think, surely with Star Wars license, that last license, I would have negotiated some way of being able to just go back and say, look, have we got his hair right? And they go, no, actually it's green. Because it wouldn't have taken them very long to reproduce.
Do you think they're worried about leaks with Star Wars? That's the main problem with not giving them the information earlier.
No, because if you think about it, if the Ghost had leaked, we wouldn't have known any more than we knew of that the Ghost was going to be in it anyway, and there's no way to say, if you don't print the box, you don't have to print the box art when you're designing the set. You can print that last minute. So at that point, you wouldn't even know it was going to be in Ahsoka if you really wanted it to get out.
Good point.
And we already knew he had green hair, because the first criticism of the Lego set was the fact that we had green hair at the end of Rebels, and then all of a sudden we've got a character with brown hair, and it's like, and you can't fix that. And they did the same with the original Ghost with the guy Kanan. He came with black hair when he should have been brown hair. And I know it made the figure really expensive, but you got Kylo Ren's shuttle when they came out with it, and it was grey. It was like, surely they've got some ability to just send it back and get it right. And that's the only bit that slightly annoys me with some of these sets, because they are about the minifigures. So if they don't get the minifigures right, I mean, who's really buying the T6 for the T6? Kids might.
I will be, but I understand the criticisms of it, of what's.
But would you buy a T6 with no minifigures? Is what I'm saying.
No, I get. I get that. Yeah, the minifigs are just cap the deal and make the deal sweeter for the price, especially because if that T6 is what £63, and I think that's a really fair price for that set. But I think if it goes down like 20, 25%, 30% on Amazon or somewhere else, then it makes it even more sweeter, especially for those minifigs. But I'll be happy to display it alongside the Ghost in one of my cabbie holes quite happily.
But the twin set's pretty spot on, isn't it? And I can't really fault the set. When I first saw it, I wasn't shocked because I hadn't seen the
I agree, especially with the coloration.
Yeah, but
I was like,
I don't know.
Spot on. No, spot on.
Don't ask me. I won't ever buy them. So.
But like you say, the interesting thing with Lego at the moment really is interesting is the way the non-licensed stuff is being absolutely nailed.
Yeah.
Eldorado Fortress, the Lion Knight's Castle, the Explorer, even the gift we purchased, the Blacktron, the Forestman's Hideout. Now we've got the Viking Village one, which I know was an Ideas, but it's not. Let's face it, it doesn't look that much like it. There's some similarities, but it doesn't look like the Ideas submission.
Not
and
really.
Barracuda Bay probably started all of this off, because I can't forget about Barracuda Bay, because me and Baz are going to build it on one of these streams once. Viking Village looks fantastic, and the price, man,
it's good. No,
like 120. Is it 125 pounds? I know it's like 100. It's not much more in dollars. I just think, how the hell have they come up with that? How have they managed to get? I did Target sponsor it or something. I don't know. I don't get how it's.
I think it's because they realise they're overcharging with everything else, and they thought, well, this time round, we can't keep doing this. Well, I'd like to think that'd be the case, but I don't think it is from Lego.
Yeah,
I mean, this probably could well be one of the biggest selling. I wouldn't be surprised, if this isn't one of the biggest idea. I know a lot of people say not going to get it, but when it's sat there and it's in the shop and you see it and you're thinking, you've got all these big sets around. I mean, people are just paying out $350 for Gringotts. I mean, it's like you could get two of these and you've still only spent £250, and you've got a more impressive display than Gringotts. I know you might be not into Harry Potter. I'm saying from a Lego point of view.
I think it's a subject, isn't it?
Every stream, you are going to see Gringotts in the background of people's streams. That's a given. People are going to put it there, and they're going to be proud of it, and rightly so. And it's going to be presented like Rivendell is up there. But if you're not going to, somebody gets two Viking villages and puts them in a different configuration, or a couple of Eldorado Fortresses having that background, for less money, he's going to look more impressive on the back. People are going to go, "What set's that?" And they go, "What set is that?" And you go, "Oh, it's two Viking villages, but I've adapted one." Oh, really? That looks real cool. Get that down. They're not going to go, "Oh, is that Gringotts? Can we have a look at it?" No, because they'll have seen it a million times. So
it's true, but yeah, I mean, the non-IP sets are really strong at the moment, aren't they? So
they should go back to it. They should do the little ones as well.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, the dream sets are good. I haven't. The problem with dreams was they came out too early, and then we lost all hype with everything else that was going on. I do want to get some, and build some.
It seems to be an age since they were shown and they came out. They kind of dragged it out already.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they dropped right down my list now because the Vikings jumped up above it.
Yeah,
It's
That's the
literally
problem.
Eldorado and then Viking. That is the two in the list, my list at the moment, and that's before we get anything else out. So,
True.
yeah.
Yeah,
True.
the shark ship was my number one as well, Trev, for obvious reasons as a shark lover. But I like that shark face and that shark head, the way it was built. And I'm looking at it, it makes me think, are they going to go with that same technique next year for the Jaws set on Bruce? Are they going to use the same technique? Because when you look at the one that was made on Ideas, it's okay. I don't be overcritical because it's a fantastic looking set. But that shark head they use for the shark boat, the shark ship in Dreams looks really good. So I'll be surprised if they don't use those techniques as well for that Jaws set.
True. Yeah. The draw set is pretty cool, to be fair. The Ideas one. And I'm looking forward to that coming out, to be fair.
It's a blockbuster movie that's missing, isn't it? I don't want
Yeah.
to make this about Jaws sets and that, but yeah, it's a. You think about all the blockbuster movies that have come out from Lego, from Harry Potter, Star Wars, Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, you name it. I think Jaws was missing, and I'm so happy they're making it. I can't wait to build it.
We can't wait for you to get it.
Oh, mate. I'm going to be doing cartwheels. It's the one missing. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's other things I'd like to see Lego make as well, but that was like the one I wanted to see made.
So we're coming to the end. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it.
Little bit of extra chat at the end about Lego.
Yes,
Yeah, a
we
little
go.
bit of Lego, isn't it? It's always going to leak into any of the stuff that we do from
That's
time
it.
to time.
Yep.
And what I was going to say was that let's have a look at the campaign. So the campaign really is still going strong. It's about 36,000 if we take off the 20 that we know is a mistake.
Wow.
So $36,000 raised over this period by loads of the brick building team on Twitch with friends. Obviously, Bricks O'Brien is the one who's set it all up, done all the work in the background. But
It's amazing.
Amishes and 9.5 and Goddess of D's and particularly Jang, who has hit I can't remember how much Jang's hit. I've just gone in 14,265 just from Jang.
Blumenek.
Tremendous. Our final total at the moment is sat on 72. It'd be nice if it was
Nice.
get back up to 100 before the thing finishes. So if there is anybody out there that hasn't donated to us, it would be nice if you did. No, don't apologise. We always will talk about Lego. Don't worry about
Exactly.
it. 2 to 4 players.
We'll talk about everything and anything, mate.
That's right. That's right.
So we will see if anybody else is doing any streaming, and I think more and more may be doing it. So we'll be able to go into. Oh no, Jake's gone live.
Let's go into Jake. Let's go annoy him.
We'll go into Jake, and we'll.
Let's go and bother Jake.
Do
After we
Jake's
did to
done-
us last week.
Yeah, what's Jake done? Jake's done pretty well, to be fair. Jake's done. I mean, every little helps. Whether we've raised 50p or $2, it doesn't really matter, does it? But it's nice to know that we hit the targets. I can't find Jake here. I have to go back to campaign. No, I still can't find him. Where is he?
Let's go.
Just before we disappear, when are we going to come back with the next episode of this? Are we going to do it right at the very end, or we're going to do it episode 7 and then wait to episode 8? So we'll do like 4, 5, 6, 7, and then do episode 8 as a live thing, or?
I think we'll do. I don't think we'll say anything more until we get to 8.
Yep.
8, yeah.
And we'll have probably watched it before, but we'll have a live watch along as well, chatting about it. Well, they won't see it, but we will see it, and you'll see our reactions to it. Because I think everyone else is going to run literally 4, 5, 6, 7 to death, and they're probably going to annoy us because they're probably they'll probably be in the chat about them. Yeah. Yes. I've got to check that Jake's running before we actually run into him, because although he's just gone thingy, I don't think he's actually live yet. So
let's have a look. See if I can
he's getting ready.
Yeah, he's getting ready. So we'll waffle for a few more minutes. We have got our outro to play as well.
I'll let you know when he's live.
I shall get it. I'll get it all set up, ready to go. Oops. But yeah, that's what I think we should do. I think in the next thing, we need to think about finishing the castle chat because we're on the really good bit.
Yep.
We are.
And we also need to actually
He's
get
live. He's live now.
Is he live? To
Yep.
get the proper whatchamacallit going.
The proper actual week, the monthly
proper,
or whatever show.
Proper podcast thing going with the first topic.
Yeah, of course.
So we need to get our thinking caps on.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So we'll be doing different topics there, but also we'll do the odds, just at the blue stream, wouldn't we? I suppose every now and again we'll do a bit of this, a bit of that, maybe even build on the stream as Craig alluded to, just for a bit of chat and get people involved.
Yep.
That's the beauty of this channel. You can do a bit of everything.
Yes. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you're obviously watching this back, it will be up on YouTube when we get it sorted. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time on 2 to 4 Players. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.